Hi there and welcome to Billy's Home Life. I have another Christmas cookie recipe that I want to share with you today. They are called mini chip snowball cookies. And I have my assistant here with me. He is snacking on some chocolate chips. So some things that you're going to need is a large mixing bowl. I have a baking sheet here, and I'm sorry, that is one beat up looking cookie sheet. Gonna need some cooking spray or parchment paper, and I just have some cooking utensils, measuring cups, measuring spoons out. The food ingredients that you are going to need, hopefully you're not squeamish about butter, because you need 3 sticks. So make sure this is good and soft, make sure it's room temperature butter, and do make sure that you have real butter. This isn't one of those cookie recipes that you can get away with using margarine or Crisco. Make sure you have real butter. You're also going to need 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. Now that is to go in the cookie batter. You're also going to need an extra 1/4 of a cup or so because when these cookies come out of the oven, we are going to sprinkle them with more powdered sugar. You're going to need a tablespoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of the mini chocolate chips. Make sure you have the minis. Don't use the regular size in these. You're also going to need a 1/2 cup of finely chopped nuts. And I had walnuts, so that's what I'm using today. So use whatever you have. Almonds would work, pecans. I just have walnuts today. The first step for making these cookies is to beat together the butter, the powdered sugar, the salt, and the vanilla. After you have those ingredients mixed together, you're then going to add your flour, your chocolate chips, and your finely chopped nuts. And make sure these are fairly fine because we are going to roll these into a ball before they go into the oven, and you don't want any giant pieces of walnuts sticking out, poking out, looking like a porcupine. It will make your cookies fall apart. So make sure you got these chopped up really fine. I'm now going to mix these together, and I'll come back to you in a minute, and we're going to roll these into little balls. This is what my cookie dough looks like now that it's all the ingredients are mixed together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take about a tablespoon or so of dough at a time, roll the dough into little balls, and get them onto my greased baking sheet. And I also wanted to tell you that you don't have to be afraid of putting these cookies really close together on the pan. Most cookies you got to leave a lot of space because they're going to spread out. These don't go anywhere. They don't rise, they don't spread. They pretty much stay the same shape and size as how you rolled them. So you can put them fairly close together on your baking pan.
Head going off.
His head fell off. What are you making?
A snowman.
You're making a snowman? My assistant here, Nathan, is trying to make a snowman with these cookies. Don't do that. Make these single layer. You see I have my cookie sheet all filled up here. I'm going to get these into a preheated 375 degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. Me and my helper are still rolling out cookies here. We're working on our second sheet. This is what my cookies look like coming out of the oven. I had to put them in for a couple more minutes. It took probably about 14 minutes, but I probably rolled these out just a pinch little too big. I have a tendency to do that, but just make sure you check them. Everybody's ovens are different. I have a bowl of powdered sugar here, probably about half a cup. And what you're going to do is you are going to roll these cookies in the powdered sugar. Now you don't want to do this immediately after they come out of the oven when they're piping hot, because they will crumble and fall apart on you, and also you could burn your fingers. You also don't want to wait until they're completely cooled either, because then the powdered sugar won't stick to the cookie. So let them cool for about 10 minutes or so. You still want them a little warm, but not cooled off completely. So I'm just going to take a cookie here, and I'm just going to roll it into the powdered sugar and get the cookie nice and coated with the powdered sugar, because these are supposed to be snowball cookies. So that's what you want these to look like. I'm going to keep going with the rest of these, and I'll come back to you in a minute.